The Midnight Dance by CartoonNerd12, Chapter 16. No! No! Discord kept saying as he got down on his knees. He held his hands to his eyes and moved his head over Fluttershy's bed, sobbing. Fluttershy! Fluttershy! He took her blankets to drench them with his tears. Spike saw the hat by Applejack's empty bed, which she was given just this afternoon. He kneeled down to grab it and embraced it in his arms, silently weeping. Fancy moved over to Rarity's bed and stroked the covers, releasing a single tear. His fair lady, the Princess Rarity, had vanished from view. Soren was holding back tears, but it was no use. He kept staring at the bed. Her bed. She was gone. His tough, funny, beautiful Rainbow Dash. Cheese couldn't help but feel anguish. He blamed himself for not seeing it sooner. His cheesy sense was telling him something was going to happen, but he couldn't figure it out until it was too late. Now his sweet and fun Pinkie Pie was gone because of his cluelessness. Flash was feeling pain all over. He lost his princess, the mare he fell in love with from the minute he saw her. He wasn't completely sure then, but now he was more than certain he loved Twilight with all his heart. His eyes glistened with tears filling inside. Oh, Twilight, I wish I could have told you. I love you. He laid his head on her bed. Celestia carefully walked into the room. Her own eyes were filling with tears, as she said in a broken voice, I knew this would happen. They all slowly looked towards her. Come with me, and I will explain all. She trotted out, and gradually they followed her. She took them to the room she was in a couple of nights before. She went up to a tapestry, and she tore it down. There, behind the tapestry, was a portrait of Celestia and King Sombra, standing side by side and touching horns. She began the tale. My husband and I kept peace and harmony across the land. It was we who stopped the changelings from invading Equestria and kept the diamond dogs and griffins at bay. When our daughters were born, there was nothing but happiness and joy in our lives. But the changeling queen returned one day, and with a foe more treacherous than any we had ever faced. Luna and I managed to stop the nightmare forces before, but with Chrysalis at their side, they were more lethal than ever. Our castle was being attacked by them, and Chrysalis was set to give me a curse. Sombra had virtuously taken the curse for me. That day, I lost my husband, and my daughters would be in danger if they had fallen in love. In truth, I am content that they found their equals. But the fact still remains that Chrysalis would have been able to track them down and give them the same curse as my husband had. And that was the only reason why I was hard on them, to keep them safe from what has happened now. They were speechless for a moment, until Discord started feeling anger boiling inside him. He blew his top. Chrysalis is going to pay for this! But you should have also told me about this! I could have done a protection barrier or something! Then Fluttershy would still be here! Celestia calmly responded. I had no idea that you care that much about my daughter then, Discord. And any protection barrier could have caused suspicion to both my subjects and daughters. The girls have no memory of that day, because Luna and I made sure they wouldn't be frightened for the rest of their lives. So even if I did ask you for help, could you have kept a secret like that from her? Discord clenched his fist and then released it, as his face softened and he looked down to the floor. I thought so, and I want to thank all of you. Thank us? Spike questioned. She gave him a small smile, answering, You are the type of colts or creatures that my daughters should love. Although you and Applejack did surprise me, Spike. He slightly blushed, not sure how to reply to that. Her face grew serious again. But we have more pressing matters now. The Queen has taken my darling daughters, to put the curse on them, to share the same fate as their father. There's very little time before that happens. Discord floated and put his hands together. Then we haven't a moment to lose. He was about to go out until Luna called out to him to make him stop. While you are powerful in your state, you must not take this journey alone. Right! Spike came up to him. We're coming with you. Aww. Discord batted his lashes. How sweet of you. But sorry, boys. You'll just slow me down. Plus, I can handle things on my own. Celestia warned. Discord, even your power has its limits. Do not underestimate what you are about to face. You will need all the help you can get. That includes all of you. The rest of the guys nodded. Luna spoke. It cannot be a coincidence that all of you would fall in love with the 6 princesses at the same time. Fate must be guiding along its way. For if this is true, then perhaps it is the time we can defeat Chrysalis and the Nightmares, once and for all. I hope you are right, sister, for nothing would bring me greater joy than seeing my daughters free to love. Discord shook his hands. Okay, fine. He sighed. They can come with me, but, he held out a finger, they have to go into some training first. He gave an evil grin towards them, as some of them gave him worried or annoyed looks. Twilight moaned out of her sleep, and saw her vision clearing, as she noticed she and her sisters were in a dungeon and had chains around their necks. Twilight? Fluttershy's voice said. Fluttershy, where are we? I don't know. I just woke up seeing I was here. Rainbow was the next one to get up, groaning while rubbing her head. Oh, feels like some pony hit me with something. The other 3 sisters stirred out of their dreamless sleep. What the hey? Where are we? AJ looked around. Ew! Whoever owns this place should seriously get a decorator, Rarity complained. And it's so dark and gloomy. Pinky frowned. No bright colours at all. Suddenly, the door to the dungeon creaked open, and in entered a black pony. But she hardly seemed to be a pony, as her horn was crooked. Her legs had holes in them. Her mane was like cobwebs. She had insect-like wings, and her eyes were glowing green with evil. Most of her sisters trembled with fear, but Twilight had the courage to demand, Who are you, and why did you bring us here? The strange pony began to chuckle evilly, and went to the princess, holding her chin. Who am I? She chuckled. Who am I? I am Queen Chrysalis, ruler of the changelings, soon to be ruler of all Equestria. Yeah, right, Rainbow spouted off. She turned to the doubting princess. Oh, but of course, with your help. She gave a menacing look. We would never help the likes of you, yelled Rainbow. You shall, she replied coolly, when I place the curse on each and every one of you. Curse? There's no such thing as a curse, sneered Twilight. Ah, but there is. She went back and forth between the girls. A fair time ago, when you were just little fillies, playing, laughing, doing whatever it is fillies do, I came to your home in the Everfree Forest with my comrades to place a dark curse on your mother. But alas, your dear papa got in the way. But it wasn't a total loss. Oh no, I could use this as an advantage. Since you share your bloodline with your daddy, I could track down all of you once you had fallen in love. But your mother was clever by making sure you would be safe in a loveless marriage. How ingenious, yet so unfair at the same time. Couldn't have done it better myself. But of course, being your mother's daughters, you had to mess it up. And I was so hoping you would. She started laughing, causing Rarity and Fluttershy to flinch, while AJ, Rainbow, Pinky and Twilight had fury in their eyes. You liar! Dash tried to pounce, but the chain around her neck prevented her from doing so. Oh, am I? Why would you say that? Twilight answered that. Because we have never lived in the Everfree Forest in our entire lives. She chuckled again. Oh, you think so? Well, I happen to know for a fact that your dear mother and aunt altered your memories, making you forget all about that castle you saw just this afternoon." She smirked as she let them fill in the blanks. "Wait," Twilight thought it over. "That castle, the castle in the Dream Kingdom, they're the same, which means we really did live there." Give the princess a prize. So, my dears, are you ready to accept your fate? "No way!" Applejack protested. "Never!" Rarity shouted. Pinky blew a raspberry. Fluttershy whimpered. Rainbow was still trying to get free to punch the Queenie. "We'll never join you!" Twilight declared. Then perhaps you would like your other option then." "Oh, Blueblood." "Blueblood?" they all said in confusion. Chrysalis stepped aside for the prince that came in, wearing a smirk on his face. "What the heck is going on here?" AJ demanded. "Oh, cousin, all you had to do was ask." Prince Blueblood had the right idea when he tried to court each of you. Making his way to the throne was sheer genius. But when he was frightened off by your little prank, Princess Rainbow, I decided to offer him a second chance at all of you. So, here's the deal. Accept the curse, or marry your cousin to escape it. Your choice." "Not much of a choice if you ask me," Rarity grit her teeth.
"And if you do not choose," Blueblood said, "Her Highness is kind enough to let me make the choice instead." "You're really sick, cuz!"
Rainbow spat. Chrysalis took her leave. "I shall leave you alone. And, girls, you have 3 days to decide. If not, well, Blueblood, you may have your pick." She laughed maliciously as she closed the door behind her. Blueblood turned back to them with a grin as they all gave him looks of hatred. Rarity roared, "Don't get any ideas, Blueblood!"
"You know, you should be thanking me. I'm saving you from a horrible fate. And all you have to do is marry me."
"As if!" all of them shouted back.
"Oh, but girls, think about it." He started getting into a song cue. "You've been dreaming just one dream nearly all your life, hoping, scheming just one thing. Will you be a wife? Will you be some he calls property? Good news that he calls me. This equation, girl plus man, doesn't help just you. On occasion, mares can have their uses too, mainly to extend the family tree." He touched Rarity's chin. "Pumpkin, extend with me." Rarity nearly gagged. "We'll be raising sons galore. Inconceivable. Each built 6'4". Unbelievable. Each one stuffed with every Blueblood gene. I'm not hearing this. You'll be keeping house with pride. Just incredible. Each day gratified. So unreadable that you are part of this idyllic scene. Picture this. A tall, shining castle. Servants keeping it neat and pristine. My little wife massaging my hooves, while the little ones play on the floor with the dogs. We'll have 6 or 7. Dogs? Fluttershy questioned. No, strapping boys like me. Imagine that, she chuckled nervously. I can see that we will share all that love implies. We will be the perfect pair, rather like my thighs. You are face to face with destiny. All roads lead to the best things in life. All's well that ends with me. Escape me, there's no way. Certain as Dore, girls when you marry. So, what do you say?" There was silence as they all glanced at each other and gave out one big "No!" "Oh, give it a few days, and you'll see. You'll be begging for," and he finishes off his song, "me."
He took off for the door and shut it, leaving the girls to wallow in pity. Twilight started to sing sadly. She lowered her head until she felt her shoulder being touched by her sister, Fluttershy, as the latter took over, singing. Rarity picked it up. Applejack sang in. Both of them sang. All of them sang the last word together. Free. They began shedding tears.